Well, I got 4 walls. So floor is flipped, cracks are sealed. It's time to put some insulation in. No idea how to do that, so I'm gonna wing it, see how it goes. All right, well, insulation is in. Yeah, gross stuff. I'm like all itchy now, and I know I should have worn a mask, and I was wearing gloves, and I tried wearing a long sleeve shirt, but it's like almost 90 degrees here and humid, so I was hot. But yeah, throwing on the 3/4 inch tongue and groove. Gonna glue it down, nail it down, and yeah, I will officially have a floor. And then I'm gonna finalize the framing plans tonight. Been trying to figure that out and get that ordered, and hopefully get this all framed today. No. Whew. Get this all framed this week. But yeah, it's coming along. I realized that there's probably was a better way to cut out the tongue and groove of this piece. There's probably a better way to rip that piece of plywood so that I didn't run into the problem. But pretty much, I have this 2-foot section that the remaining 4-foot section of plywood that I have is the part that sticks out, the tongue maybe. And this right here is also the tongue. So those two do not match. So my thought process is to just cut out the tongue of this one and then use the flat side of this one and just get it as close as possible, rather than ordering a whole other sheet of plywood for just, a 2-foot piece. So I'm sure that is far from the best possible solution to this, but yeah. Today, working on framing the actual walls. I've certainly never done anything like that before. And I made a little framing plan, but I've never made a framing plan before, and it's mostly just notes. So we'll see how this one goes. plan is to just lay it out before I nail anything in and see if it works. I'm starting with the north wall, which is going to be this side because it's the easiest and smallest out of the 4. So as of now, it's everything, all the measurements are working out. So that's a good sign. Yeah. So my tape measure broke. Kind of unfortunate. New tape measure, ready to rip. Alright, so first wall is laid out. Seems to be looking good, so now time to nail it and see how it looks. Kind of nervous to nail it together because once it's nailed, it's a little more permanent. And if the measurements are off, then well, but yep, fuck it, I guess. Aside from the cripple studs, which there's just a couple of, these are the last 2 studs for the wall, and then that's it. I just gotta figure out how to lift it. But yeah. Unsure if I'm going to be able to lift this wall by myself, but I'm going to try. Wall's still standing, so that's good. Yeah, let's see if we can build a couple more. A third of this project is moving stuff around. Another third of this project is looking up how to do stuff that I don't know how to do on YouTube. And the other third is building. Alright, so today we're hopefully going to build the other 3 walls. Might be a stretch, but we're going to try. Was pretty successful yesterday, minus the fact that I built that wall first, when in reality I should have built these 2 gable walls first. Not the end of the world. There's, I'm able to work around it. Fortunately, this is just a trial run, with this cabin. This is just very much a learning experience, and figuring out how to do all this kind of stuff before I actually tackle the big main cabin. So yeah, I'm gonna try and film a little bit more of this one and see how we do. Not mix up, but just had to make a bunch of adjustments because of the mix up with that wall. But I think I got all the measurements readjusted, refigured out, so now it's just time to measure and cut the studs and start, you know, laying everything out for the east wall. Toasty one here today. Yeah, it's like 90 plus degrees, but took a couple days off from building, so time to get back to it. So I kind of messed up the order in which I put my walls up. I put that one up first, which is a side wall. That one should have gone up first. The one I'm doing now should have gone up second, and those walls should have gone up third and fourth. Because now I've kind of like boxed myself in, and it's gonna make it tricky to build this wall on the floor like this and stand it up. So gonna have to figure that out, and we'll see how it goes. So as you can see, herein lies the problem, in that because I built that wall first, this wall, which is the tallest wall, now I have to figure out how to build it with it hanging off. So that's the conundrum I'm in, but I think I'm just gonna lay everything out except for this bottom plate, nail those together, and then nail the top plate on. Yeah. Alright, well, the third wall is pretty much done. I just have to put the couple support studs on top and then lift it up, nail it down. But I'm unable to do that without a second person. I think I could maybe do it, but I'd rather not have it fall or injure myself or what have you. So it's 90 degrees. I'm going swimming. Well, I've officially got 3 out of the 4 walls up. Starting to become a little obvious that not everything is square and plumb and the same height. But that's gonna be stuff I worry about when I get all 4 walls up, and I can go from there. So, still stoked, still got some progress, and yeah. Let's get the 4th wall up. So, I've boxed myself in a little bit. If I was a better builder and this whole thing was perfectly square and the exact measurements, this wouldn't be a problem. But that wall is about a ½ inch, ¼ inch, or these 2 walls back there are about a ¼ to a ½ inch tighter than up here, which means that the top of my wall is going to be a ½ inch shorter. So that means I have to build just a little bit narrow, which I don't think is what I want to do, but I currently have no better ideas. So I haven't made a wall with a door yet, and I haven't made a wall with a door and a window, so I'm kind of just winging it a little bit, which is definitely not recommended. But I'm kind of just figuring it out on the fly, which has kind of been the MO for this whole thing, even though these walls I kind of prepared a little bit. But this one, we're just gonna see what happens. So yeah, stay tuned for that one. I'm off by like 1 piece of lumber to have this finished, which is not that bad actually, for kind of just guessing and whatnot, and I had a couple bad cuts in there. But I'm gonna at least nail together what I can for now to get that going, so that I really only have a little bit left, and then yeah, gotta make sure to leave a couple pieces for bracing. So yeah, then I'll come back and put it up and I'll have 4 walls. So not bad. Well, I got 4 walls. I think they're fairly level, but I gotta get up to the top corners and kind of square them up there. But I'm realizing how difficult a lot of the stuff is with just one person. So I may need to be phoning in some help for that aspect and for sheathing the walls and the roof rafters. But definitely gotta study up a little bit more on all that too. But yeah, walls are framed, floor is done, and I have the start of a little structure here. So yeah. It's starting to look like a something. So I think that's about it for this little section. Yeah, I'll see you guys soon for the sheathing and the roof.